Hey, Grow Squad. Hope you're doing good. Hope that life is treating you well. In fact, let me know down in the comments, how are you doing? Hope that you're liking. I hope that you're subscribing. I hope that you are understanding how important it is for you to be officially a part of this family. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention, and thank you simply for the love. Today, I'll talk a little bit about something I think that people struggle with. And if you were tuned in last week, I kind of touched on it just a little bit. But today, I kind of want to get back into that topic because it was just one of the points that I made last week. But today, I want to spend a little more time talking about the self-sabotaging behavior that I see from so many people. Let's get into it. Let's pray. God, thank you for today. God, my thoughts, my mouth, my lips, my conversation. Thank you for those who are listening, who are viewing. I hope that and I pray that we all be uplifted by our time together. In your name, amen. Have you ever engaged in self-sabotaging behavior? Have you ever found yourself, because it's funny, it's interesting because, I've heard different quotes, different ideas about people kind of imploding, people kind of, organizations. It's funny. I think there's a lot of talk recently about, let's just use, for example, certain groups, whether it be religious sects, whether it be parties, whatever it is. And the idea is always that somebody else will come along and will destroy them. Like somebody else will come along and will destroy their idea, not physically destroy, but destroy their idea, disrupt their train of thought, disrupt their mission. And oftentimes, especially during my life, even as a leader, I've experienced the opposite. I've experienced people that don't know what my organization's about, don't understand my life's mission, don't understand my organization's mission. I've seen people who are complete strangers to what it is that I'm doing on board 1,000% with what I want to do. I've seen people show up, just meet me today, hear about my mission, hear about my plans, hear about my goals, and they want to write a check to support the mission. They want to write a check to support the direction that we're moving in. They want to give whatever, not just monetary, but also physical. How can I show up and volunteer? What can I do? Spiritual support. Can I pray for your organization? Can I pray for your mission? Can I pray for what you're doing? And I've seen people on the inside do the opposite. Have you ever seen people who show up, they're not a part of it, and they give all that they can to whatever the mission is? And on the flip side, this is not every case, but I've seen people on the inside, because of jealousy, because of discord, because of different ideas, because of a vote that didn't go their way, do their best to tear down the mission from the inside out. The same happens in life on an individual level. I've seen people who other people did not destroy them. Other people did not tear down their character. Other people did not, when I say destroy them, other people did not make it difficult for them to realize their dream. They made it difficult. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen people who they love to blame this and blame that, but if you did some research, if you did some digging, if you really looked at their story in its entirety, you discover, oh, you made that bad choice. Oh, you made that bad move. Oh, the teacher didn't give you. I remember I had a teacher when I was in college, man, and this is so not like me to tell this kind of a story, but I think it would be beneficial to somebody who's listening. That's the only reason I share bits and pieces. It's not to brag. It's not to gloat. I think that my experience can somehow help somebody else. I was a pretty decent communicator in college. In fact, if you don't know this by now, I took religion and theology as a major in college, in hopes of landing a job as a minister. And so part of that process, I had to take speech classes, and one class I took was homiletics. And this class, we would look at all of the foundational pieces of putting together a sermon, putting together a speech, putting together a talk. And then we had to once a week, a select few people, different people every week, would have to get up and deliver in front of their peers. So one week, I had gotten back in touch with an old girlfriend, I think. No, I'm lying. Listen, I'm on air. I am lying straight up. I know for a fact that I gotten back in touch with the former girlfriend. And man, I had an opportunity to go. I'm not sure if she emailed me. I'm not sure how we reconnected. I'm not sure if she found my phone number. I forgot how it happened. But I do know that on this day that I was supposed to speak in class, that I was supposed to stand up in front of my peers and deliver my message, the young lady said, at the time you have class, it's the only time I have to meet for lunch or a bite to eat. A late lunch is what it was. If you can't meet me at X time on that day, I can't see you I won't be back in the area for another month. So here it is. I know that the bulk of my grade, don't miss this, I didn't tell you, the bulk of the grade for the class was centered around how well we did and how our peers evaluated our sermon or speech. I do know that, hey, listen, the teacher that I had was a pretty generous guy. I mean, this guy told us, like, man, if you just show up every day, you're going to at least get a B. But if you go all out, man, I'll make sure y'all have flying colors. If you do your best to be prepared, if you deliver your message, if you turn your stuff in on time. But if you just show up, I'm going to give you a B. So I skipped class that day. I went and met that young lady for that late lunch. When I finished that late lunch, I tried to catch the professor. My goal was, as I drove back to the campus at a high rate of speed, my goal was to catch the professor and give him my spiel in hopes that I would not be docked for missing my opportunity to speak. He looks at me and he says, man, Eugene, you're a very talented individual. In fact, you are the most talented individual in this class. And I know that's why you missed today. I said, what do you mean? He said, you think because you're gifted. You think because you got skills with the microphone. You think because you can put together something real quickly and wow the crowd, that will give you a pass on not meeting your obligation. You were on schedule. We centered class time around 3 people getting up. And so I'm having to scramble to fill in the gap where you were supposed to take up 35 minutes of the time. But you thought you were better than us. You thought you were bigger than. You thought you were above reproach. So because of that, I don't care if you make an A for the rest of the quarter. You're not getting above a B minus, brother. Self-sabotage. I was engaged in self-destructive behavior, right? By missing my class, thinking that my reputation or my abilities was going to give me some kind of pass to do what I knew I shouldn't be doing, and that is skipping class. I've seen people who were gifted with singing, gifted on the gridiron, gifted on the basketball court, gifted in whatever area that they were blessed in, who have completely ignored the fact that there's some effort I've got to put in. There's some responsibility I have to nurture this gift. There's the responsibility I have to show up and give my very best. Even though I'm gifted, even though I'm talented, I still got to put in some work. I've seen people go down a slippery slope and not realize their full potential simply because, not that they just skipped class. Because me skipping class that day could have been, just say my professor, thinking back in hindsight, if I were given a pass, if I were given this like, oh, oh, you man, that's fine. You still making A. Just do this. Da, da, da. I may have gone down the slippery slope of making missing class a habit, making not working on my craft a habit. Maybe I would have gone down a slippery slope of not realizing my full potential simply because I was engaged in self-sabotaging behavior. Some of you right now, it's not that you need more gifts. It's not just that you need more money. In fact, we know from the Bible that to whom much is given, much is required. And some of you have been given much. Some of you have been given lots of gifts and talents, and you know that you're living beneath your potential simply because you're not doing what you're supposed to do with your gift. There's no way to sugarcoat that. You're taking whatever you've been blessed with for granted. And I want to caution you. I want to challenge you. I want to push your thinking around this idea, because I'm thankful that I got my act together. All it took for me was that one time. I never missed any more classes. I never missed any more assignments. In fact, I still turned in that same sermon I was supposed to turn. I went back and I already drafted it. I had already put it together. I just didn't get up and deliver it. What am I saying? If you're deliberately going against, for whatever reason, and a lot of times, let's go on the clinical side a little bit. A lot of times people engage in these kinds of things because of low self-esteem. They engage in those kinds of behavior because they realize that their gift requires much of them, and they think that by skirting around it, not fully engaging that gift, somehow they'll get a pass. Here's my challenge. Because last week we talked about setting up those healthy boundaries simply around those things that may be distracting you from reaching your goals and your ideals. The same thing needs to happen with regard to your gifts and your talents. There needs to be healthy boundaries around your gifts and talents. There are so many people, because they don't have boundaries around it, have allowed themselves and other people to mishandle what they've been gifted with. To the point where there's loads of people that I've come in contact with who are living beneath where they're supposed to be living simply because they've sabotaged it themselves. Don't be a person that tears down your own potential from the inside out simply because you're not taking you seriously. Now, I meet people all the time who, man, they're not letting me blossom. They're not taking me seriously. You're not taking yourself seriously. Man, the company, they should put me in this position. Well, what are you doing with what you've been already given? Like, it blows my mind the amount of people that I come across who want more, but they're not doing anything with what they have. They want more responsibility. They want more money. They want more resources. They want more access, but the access that they currently have, you're not using it wisely. The resources they currently have, you're not using it wisely. So I would suggest to you that instead of always looking for more, look how I can maximize what I have. Woo. Instead of always waking up and praying for more and praying for increase all the time and asking for, now, why don't you wake up and ask God to give you insight, discernment as to how you can better utilize what you already got. Because some of you, there's more inside of you based on what you already have. You're looking for more, and God's like, nah, you haven't squeezed everything out of. If you all grew up in the neighborhood like me, where we didn't have a lot of money, I remember one time I went to throw away a tube of toothpaste. When I was growing up, this show you, I don't even know if I guess maybe they still use it, but we had AIM at one time, AIM toothpaste in the house. And I went to throw away a tube of toothpaste, and my mother she stopped she said, boy, what in her tracks? She said, what are you doing? So I was emptying another one. She said, boy, if you don't get to the bottom of that toothpaste tube and start rolling it up and squeezing everything that's in it out of it. And man, she squeezed that tube, and we used the rest of that toothpaste for 3 more days. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Some of you are ready to move on to the next. You think that you've used everything that you can out of one pocket of your gifts. And God's like, nah, squeeze it. Squeeze everything that you can out of what you've been given. And you do that by not engaging in activity that will sabotage your own stuff. So this week, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to squeeze the bottom of that toothpaste tube as an analogy. I ain't talking about literally. I'm going to challenge and charge you this week to challenge those that you are maybe have influence over. Maybe your kids, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you have nieces or nephews who they're asking for more. They think they deserve more, but they haven't. Give them a little boost and let them know there's more inside of you. Don't sabotage what you got by thinking you need more. Ooh. Don't sabotage what you have by overlooking the fact that you've got exactly what you need. Just maximize it. Listen, I hope you will share this message out with somebody who's engaging in self-sabotaging behavior. It may not be extreme, but it may be just on the cursory level. Wherever they are on that journey, I need you to help stop them in their tracks. I need you to stop them right where they are and let them know that, hey, there's more inside of you. And if it's you I'm talking to, I hope that this episode will help stop you in your tracks. Now, forget other people getting in your way. Stop getting in your own way by not reaching your own full potential. Ask God for wisdom, and I promise you he'll blow your mind. Listen, I hope that you got something out of today's episode. In fact, I know you did. In fact, I know you did so much that you're going to share this out with somebody. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to comment, as it lets the algorithm know that, hey, there's something popping off. Listen, we are coming up on almost 70 episodes. We pushing these bad boys out, and thank God for consistency. Thank God for you. Thank God for our listening audience. Don't forget, again, don't keep this to yourself. Let somebody else know what's happening on the Eugene Hamilton podcast as we continue to go, grow, and glow every single day. Listen, I'll catch you next time. Next week, we're back together again for another episode. Until then, take care of yourself. All right? Peace.